Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Live and Let Live. I'm extra anxious this week because more and more people that I know are finding this podcast, and to be fair, I am posting it. So, I think it's easier for me to send something off to strangers to listen to than people who know me because they interact with me in real life and they know a lot more about me than this. So it's just anxiety inducing to know that it's reaching people. Um, yeah. So to start this week's episode off, I want to talk about my week in review, which has been full of socializing, my nightmare. First, I went on like the 25th, the weekend before Halloween. I went to my hometown bar for their Halloween party, and I saw a lot of people. I saw a lot of people, good and bad, and it was a little awkward. I was dressed as Rapunzel, and I was wearing a corset, and the corset was just making me unable to breathe. So, I ended up getting a little bit drunk. The corset was so tight that I think it contributed to this. I got the hiccups, and I swear to God, I had the hiccups for like 20 minutes. And everyone I talked to at that point must have thought that I was so much more drunk than I was. But I don't know what it was. I just couldn't get rid of them. I will say, as soon as I got home and took the corset off, the hiccups went away completely. So, that was so fun. I will try to show a picture. So, I don't know. It's kind of dark, but me and my boyfriend are Flynn Rider, and then there's my friend Haley and her boyfriend Graham, and they're a witch and a black cat. So, super cute. I'm never going to wear a corset again. I had to wear it again for actually Haley in that picture. I wore it for her party. I literally took it off in the car on the way back and like brought a t-shirt to put on instead because I knew I couldn't handle it. Um, yeah. So the next morning after the bar, when I had the drunk hiccups in front of literally everybody I've ever met, we went to the Colts game, and the Colts game was really fun. My boyfriend was way more hungover than I was, and I was just super anxious. Like, I get really bad anxiety. It was already Sunday. I get Sunday scaries. Like, we're socializing with people who I don't know, like, super, super well. They're like my boyfriend's friends, so I'm just like mute the whole time, which is kind of my favorite thing to be. I just kind of like stop talking. So, yeah, ironic that I have a podcast, but yeah, I was pretty nonverbal during that. But I still had a good time, and my boyfriend's headache finally let up, and he felt a lot better, like literally like as soon as the game started almost. So it was really cool. It was okay. And then at the end of the Colts game, I got the hiccups again, and I was not drinking because I was driving like an hour home. So then I was like telling everybody that I have the hiccups again for another 20-minute increment. The hiccups went away as soon as we got in the car. It was really crazy. But yeah, I was like, what have I done to deserve this? And the hiccups make me so angry. I hate having the hiccups because they hurt and they just like sneak attack you out of nowhere. And oh my gosh, it's just like the most infuriating thing ever. Like, can you not? So I was like pretty grouchy when I got the hiccups. But yeah, the Colts game was fun. I got a really cool Colts jacket, and I think that I could have been in a little bit of a better headspace for it, but it is what it is. I mean, it's a football game at the end of the day, and I will admit, like 30% of the time I was there, I was thinking about how many of those players are going to have, what is it called, CTE, and like they're hurting their brains. So I was like, every time they would like hit each other, like with their helmets and like run into each other or fall, I would just be like, and yeah, I will never ever let my kids play football if I ever have any. So I'm going to be that mom because that is scary stuff. So during the week last week, I have classes Tuesday and Thursday starting at 9 in the morning. Monday night, technically Tuesday, early hours in the morning, My sister's car breaks down and nobody will answer her, so she's freezing on the side of the road. So obviously I go get her, drive her to her place, which is like 40 minutes from my place. Come home. I don't get home until like almost 4 in the morning, so I definitely skipped my morning class. And then the next day, my little brother and I have car insurance on the same plan. He breaks down, his car won't start, so his phone is also at 1%. So then I have to contact the roadside we have for our insurance to head to him, and it's this whole ordeal, but he did get back on the road fine, and I literally was sending him, like, walking directions and, like, "Memorize this before your phone dies." There's a Walmart, like, a 10-minute walk. I was like, "Go buy a phone charger, um, and get at least to where we can contact you. Because imagine, like, the people went to the wrong place or whatever, like, what would he do? He would just be sitting there. So, I was like, "This is so crazy. Why are both of your cars breaking down?" But I always pride myself on being the person, like, if you call me and you really need me, like, it doesn't matter what I have going on, like, I'll be there because you need people like that in your life. Like, I need people like that in my life because I know that at the drop of a hat, there's multiple people in my family who would show up in an instant. So that was just like a weird coincidence. It's like that Phineas and Ferb quote that's like, if I had a nickel for every time this happened, I would only have two nickels. But it's weird that happened twice, right? Another thing that happened, Dancing with the Stars, of course, Jen and Yon went home. And I'm really sad because I really liked Yon. I really liked Jen. I think Jen has just had like the worst year ever if you watch Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And it makes me feel really bad that she was just so underhyped this year. Like, she was really good. She was up there, I feel like, in the competition with everyone else. I do feel like one thing that really contributed to it was her lack of emotion and connection to the dance. And I think that there is something to say about her troubles with her husband and him being in the way of that for sure. But I also think that it could be like the girl is shutting down. Like the girl just had a baby. She could be going through postpartum. She has the whole entire world watching her. She has this once in a lifetime opportunity to go on Dancing with the Stars and has to make herself ready to do it. And I find it very admirable that she did. And I'm really sad that she went home before Andy. I love Andy, but like, I don't know. I'm also just, again, thinking about the finals and who I want in the finals. And I didn't really see Jen and Yon in the finals. I don't see Andy in the finals. And I hope this is not another like Bobby Burns season where we just ignore like some incredible dancers and people who like really put their all into everything just because we're infantilizing a grown man. Like, yes, he's super sweet and funny and everything, but like he's not a little kid. Like, oh my god, like don't send him home on his birthday. Like, I don't know. It's a little bit odd. I think that Alex's dance deserved all tens. Um, I think her and Robert, they're neck and neck for like my opinion on who should have the mirror ball for sure. I'm really getting tired of Whitney. I feel like I'm seeing the same thing every single week, and I don't think she has a great attitude. Sorry. I don't know. I just like, yeah, she's a good dancer, but it also is like at the end of the day, you're supposed to like enjoy watching these people, and I just don't. I'm just like kind of over it at this point. But yeah, I felt horrible for Elaine. I thought that Elaine's practice was better than half of the dances I saw, actually. So I feel awful, and I hope that she doesn't injure herself further by coming back. But, sometimes you gotta just trust people to know their own limits and go from there. So, yeah, I'm excited for this week. I don't even know what the theme is this week. I kind of expected more from Halloween night, but then again, I think my expectations were just so high from dedication night. I'm just like an emotional girl, so I loved the like emotion behind every dance and like feeling so much, and now it's just kind of like maybe that was just maybe that was just like a one-time thing and everything else is just kind of I don't know. But I also like who are the people that were like Amon and Whit no, Amon and Danielle, their Halloween dance that was like a contemporary that I think was nominated for an Emmy or something. That is kind of what my expectations were. So maybe that was a little unrealistic on my part. But getting into my top songs of the week, I think that my top songs of the week are first, for some reason, I've been listening to I Love You, I'm Sorry by Gracie Abrams a lot because the part where she's like, I'll be on a boat, you're on a plane, and then like, I don't know, everything about that song, I think her voice is just so freaking beautiful in it, and I love the lyrics, and I love that she's like taking accountability in it. And isn't it just like so crazy that people can do like they can take like a real life situation and make it so romantic and so beautiful. Like I can't even imagine someone like writing something like that about an experience they had with me and making it like feel like a movie scene. Because when you're experiencing it, it really doesn't. So to turn it into that, Ariana Grande does such a great job at that as well. So I think I Love You, I'm Sorry. And let's see, what have I been listening to? Another really good one is Miss Possessive by Tate McRae. I don't really listen to a lot of Tate McRae, not for any reason. I just like am not super into her music, but I think she's a very talented girl and like love seeing her performances and everything. But Miss Possessive, that song does get me. I completely relate to Miss Possessive. That's exactly something that if I had talent, I would write and sing. And for my third song, I think Cardigan by Taylor Swift. It's just so perfect. Um, yeah, I'm a folklore girl through and through. It's so good. Oh, I know that I said I was going to maybe start The Summer I Turned Pretty. Well, surprise, I finished it. I have binged it. I've been staying up until like 4 in the morning watching The Summer I Turned Pretty, and I don't even necessarily think that it's that good. I really don't. I really like the characters, and I think that it's like I would give it like a 7 out of 10. At the end of the day, it was really entertaining and I was on the edge of my seat a lot, but I think that the real stars of the show for me are Steven and Taylor. I think the whole show I was just rooting for those two more than I was rooting for Belly with either of Conrad or Jeremiah. I just wasn't invested in either of those. I think that we didn't get enough backstory or lead up, and I think that when Belly confessed her feelings for Conrad, like the beginning of the first season or whatever, and they almost kissed and everything, I think that she had like way too high of expectations for him to just like jump into something with her when she didn't even really know how he felt. And I don't think he's a bad guy for, especially given the circumstances of him just finding out that his mom's cancer is back and keeping the secret that his dad cheated on his mom. I think there were so many things placed on him that he was damaged and he was very young. I think it's really not a bad thing for him to be like, 17 years old and be like, I'm not ready for something serious and to possibly damage one of my closest friends for the rest of our lives. So, I don't know. I think her running to Jeremiah was just weird. I didn't see any chemistry between her and Jeremiah before Conrad, like, rejected her in a way. And then the whole like Jeremiah and Belly thing, I was just like, all right, well, if they're going to spend 4 years together, like, I don't think her and Conrad should get back together. I think that's weird. I think if I were one of those brothers and it was like, okay, when she was 16, she had feelings for me and I rejected her because I was going through a lot with my mom's cancer. So she runs to my brother. Then she runs back to me, and then my mom's dying, everything's too much, and we break up, just like I thought we would and why I tried to avoid it in the first place. And then she runs back to your brother and spends 4 years with him, and is seemingly very happy and very chill. And then they're getting married. It's just, I would just be like, at that point, I'd cut my losses and just be like, it's over. Especially, I mean, dude went to California and lived for years. I just don't really like, I don't know. If I was in that situation, I think I would just be over it and I'd be like, wow, like that was a childhood crush. And like, I think it's cringy for her to like wish for him for every birthday, and I don't find that romantic. I just wanted so badly for Belly to be her own independent person, and I liked her in Paris. I liked that she, like, finally just, like, went off and struggled on her own, and I wish that her life was not so male-centered, and I wish that when Conrad came back into her life, they were able to just, go off separately, amicably, and just acknowledge that they were kids and proximity was a huge thing, and they'll always love each other as family, but I mean, Belly's what, like 22 at the end of the show? I just don't feel like it's like a lifetime thing. Like when I was like 10 and 11, I was wishing for Zayn Malik. Now I'm 23. No, no, I don't still wish for Zayn Malik. I'm very happy with my boyfriend. But like I really was kind of rooting for Paris guy, and when she rejected him, he still came to her birthday and they were still chill. Like it wasn't some big deal. I like that. I think when Conrad rejected her, she should have been like, "All right, well maybe this was just a one-sided thing and I still love you as a person," and I think she should have healed from that and moved on. I'm doing a whole lot of yapping. All of that to say, I think Belly has so much potential to be much more than Mrs. Fisher in either scenario. Like, I don't wish for for me to have a daughter and grow up. I think everybody who is best friends with somebody and you have a boy and a girl at the same time, you're like, oh, they're gonna get married from the time they're toddlers. But like, it doesn't necessarily mean that they should just be together. I don't know. It's so complicated. I'm team nobody. I think they also purposefully ruined Jeremiah season 3 to push her and Conrad back together. And Conrad confessed his feelings for Belly twice, and she chose Jeremiah over him. And I also don't understand why they're saying that Belly left Jeremiah at the wedding, and Jeremiah was mad at her when he was the one who called it off and said he couldn't marry her because he knew there was something between her and Conrad. But at the same time, he always knew there was something between her and Conrad. He saw them almost kiss that first summer and still went after Belly after that. So if that was such a deal breaker for him, how could he spend 4 years with her, propose to her, make it to the wedding day, and then say, oh, I can't be with you because you still have a piece of your heart that loves Conrad. And that's what you get when you put 21-year-olds at the altar, to be honest. They were just, yeah, they were too young for all of that. Steven and Taylor forever. I love them together. I think that they actually can know what they want, and Taylor is such an independent person. And why is Taylor's problems always ignored by Belly? Like, she went through that whole thing with her mom, and Steven was there for her and everything. She was there for her mom, and she was there for Belly through every decision and always supported her. So, I don't know. I think Taylor is a stand-up person. She's funny. She's independent. She knows what she wants. She admits when she's wrong. And she can let things go. Because if it was Steven and Taylor's wedding in this season, okay, and Jeremiah and Conrad were groomsmen and Belly was the maid of honor, Belly would have made that whole wedding about her, and Taylor just wanted Steven to be happy. And whatever choices he made, whether he wanted to be with Denise or be with her. Oh, and let's talk about how random it is to throw Denise and Jeremiah together. I don't know. And when did Jeremiah become a chef? I've literally seen him, like, yeah, he made a hangover smoothie or something, but he randomly just, like, becomes a chef, and he's, like, extremely good at it and becomes, like, what? Yeah, that was completely out of the blue for me. I don't know. So I'm gonna stop talking about the Samurai Champloo now. um, okay, so for this week, answering random questions, I posted and tried to get some comments for some genuine people who wanted my advice. My sister, bless her, was the only person to reply to it. So she asked me, what advice would I give to my 21-year-old self, or what would I say to her? For reference, I'm gonna be 24 in 11 days. I'm not very excited to be 24, but I still love my birthday. Um, So 21 was a couple years ago. Yeah. So I was turning 21, like, what, 3 years? Yeah, 3 years ago. I was 20, turning 21. So a lot has changed. I think, like, the biggest leap in, like, mental consciousness for me has been from 20 to 23. I feel like I knew everything at 18. 19 was what was that? What was that? 19 was the most, like, filler episode year of my life. Like, so weird. I feel like everything that's ever happened to me was not processed until I was 19. I was just, like, building up and building up and building up. I know everything. I know how my life is going to go. I'm not going to let things bother me. And then 19, I just, like, crumbled and was just like, okay, maybe I have to face things, or else I'm not going to go into future endeavors of my life and be able to be who I want to be. Like, I need to unlearn some things, relearn some things, let people go, and find out what it is that I genuinely enjoy, because I think that I lost joy in absolutely everything at 19. And 21 comes around, and I think that I was more dumb at 21 than I was at 18. So, what I would say to my 21-year-old self, you don't have to have it all figured out. I wish that I didn't put so much pressure on myself and feel like it was the end of the world, that I wasn't very good at any job I did, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, and I I wasn't sure if I ever wanted kids. I'm still not sure. I wasn't back in school yet. I was struggling to make rent, buy food, take care of myself, and I think that's such a privilege. Again, like when I was talking about the summer I turned pretty, like, that is such a formative time of your life when you're figuring it out and you're hurting and you don't know what you don't know, basically. So, advice I'd give to a 21-year-old is, don't take anything too seriously. Genuinely listen to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Don't go for the guy that you have to convince yourself will change or anything like that. Like, one thing, like, I really, really tried to do when going into my relationship, and I still think there's some things I ignored, like, just for the fact of I really liked my boyfriend. I still really like him. I love him. But thankfully he's grown with me. He didn't have to grow with me though, and that could have been another lesson for me. But we were both in similar situations where we just got really knocked down, and I think, like, I had this, like, ego death of, wait, shit, I don't know what I'm doing. Um and I didn't really know, I wasn't very content with life every day. I was kind of just going through the motions. I was letting life happen to me. Oh my god, that's a quote from The Summer I Turned Pretty. Actually kill me. But it's so true. I was letting life happen to me instead of happening to life. Like, I wasn't contributing to absolutely anything. And this has turned really depressing, but I just know my sister's a lot like me. And I see myself in her, just a couple years younger, which makes a big difference when you're in your early 20s, you know? I would say, just know, like, genuinely, literally tattoo this on yourself if you need to. Nothing is irreparable. Nothing is that serious. Nothing is the end of the world. You're 21, for God's sakes. Go to the bars. Be safe about it, but go to the bars. Go to the club. Wear whatever you want. Don't let anybody stop you from doing that. Let people go, because this is such a huge moment for everybody who's your age. And when you were in high school together, you were all on the same path, right? You were all being told what you're going to do tomorrow. And then it hits graduation. A lot of people went on a very similar path of going off to college and doing that. And then I think a lot of us hit a wall of, like, either A, I hate my major, B, I hate my school, C, I'm failing my classes, D, like, I'm struggling in some way with my identity. So then we all feel like we're alone in that because we're seeing everybody else's Instagram posts and Facebook posts and engagements, for God's sake. Oh my God. Pregnancy announcements and all of that at 21. And it's like overwhelming because you're like, wait, wait, wait. I still don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. Like, I still don't know. And all of these people just have it figured out. But I promise you, they do not have it figured out. They don't. And if they think they do, they're even further behind you because anyone who thinks they have it figured out at 21, the the time is coming when you realize you don't because you literally cannot possibly predict what is going to happen. So, to wrap that up overall, what I would say to my 21-year-old self, oh my gosh, I've said like 18 things. I would have a long conversation with my 21-year-old self. I think my final remarks on this: be present in the moment because one day you'll be turning 24, 25, 26, and so on. And if you're not in the present moment when you're 21 and let yourself soak up absolutely every lesson, blessing, experience offered to you, because you are young and you shouldn't treat yourself like you're too old to be doing anything because you are absolutely the perfect age to be doing everything and figuring it out. Make every freaking possible decision that your heart desires that could offer you opportunities. And yeah, just be present and you know what? Take everything in that serves you and leave everything that doesn't serve you behind you. So, I mean, I'm about to be 24 and I'm just now cutting off friends that I've had for a decade who have continuously treated me like I don't matter when I've shown up for them. Like I said, I try to be that person. If you call me and you need me, I'm there. I've forgiven. I've let a lot of things go. I've let a lot of things slide. A lot of things roll off my back just out of pure empathy for this other person, these other people, and tried to put myself in their shoes and realize I'm not the center of the universe. You don't have to prioritize me, but I'm not going to prioritize you anymore if that's the case. I don't expect everything you do to be so personal to me, which I think I've just gone too far on that side. Like, that's another thing I would tell my 21-year-old self. Like, don't take everything so personally because genuinely most things have nothing to do with you. They really don't. There are times when you mess up and you have to self reflect when someone comes to you with saying like you've messed up and they're hurt or something, but a lot of the time the way people treat you is a reflection of how they feel about themselves. And I think that was a hard lesson for me to learn of like, okay, I think I've gone too far on the other side of not taking things personally, that I do need to take some things personally. Okay, I'm going to take it personally when you consistently ignore me and you don't talk to me at all. Like, you don't check on me. I literally I had appendicitis earlier this year. It wasn't a huge deal. It didn't burst, but I had appendicitis and I had surgery to get my appendix out. And it was my first surgery. It was very scary. I was in a lot of pain. I couldn't move the next day. And it's not to say it was the end of the world. I mean, I wasn't in a 10 out of 10 pain or anything like that, but them putting me to sleep for surgery, knowing they were about to cut my insides open, and then waking up, I was super nauseous, and all I wanted to do was go home. And thank God for my boyfriend because he was there with me the whole time. But it was scary. I felt very vulnerable and very like I needed support at that time, okay? Like, it was my first time that I had to go to the ER and be told that I need surgery and whatever. So, I I really felt the absence of a few people in that moment. And I think this summer was just kind of the nail in the coffin for a lot of people. And I realized, like, one thing I really realized is I've never truly, truly shut the door in people's face to my life. So I think that's one thing I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start shutting the door in people's face and no hard feelings. I'm not going to hold resentment towards you. I forgive everybody because I do, at the end of the day, still think there was never anything I could do differently. So yeah, I let it go and move on, and they're not a blip on my radar. They were already absent from my life, so I'm just shutting the door completely. And yeah, that got a lot deeper than I thought it would. Um, but I will say my manifestation and intentions going forward, I really want to finish this semester strong. I've kind of slacked off. I think we all, I'm just grouping everybody into my bad student behavior. I think it's a common thing. I hope to, when you get to like the middle of the semester, just kind of like you're not as locked in. So I'm trying to finish the race sprinting. Because I do want good grades and I don't want to retake any classes. As long as I pass all of my classes, I'm good. So I'm going to finish. That's my manifestation. I'm going to finish the semester sprinting. And my intentions are to really, really, really be present in the moment of my birthday and have a fun time and enjoy being 24, even though it does sort of send me into an existential crisis about being 30, even though I'm only 24. You know, it kind of sucks. Like, why spend 24 worrying about being 30 when one day I'm actually going to be 30? And I'm not yet. So I think I have a tendency to be disappointed on my birthdays because I have kept people around who actually don't care about me, like I just said. So this year, I am not going to put pressure on other people who I know can't do it. They can't show up for me and they can't make one day about celebrating me and they don't want to, and I don't want to force anyone to. So I'm going to be with the people who I know uh, really love me and are really happy that I'm alive. And I want to be around the people who make me happy to be alive. So yeah, I think I'm going to go out for my birthday and I'm super excited. So, and can we just all agree November 14th is like the best date to ever exist? It's just a beautiful day. And I challenged everybody to have a really great day November 14th. So, yeah. Oh, we're gonna end off on a riddle, okay? I'm not gonna let the riddle go. Oh, this one's kind of like good. I feel like this one's kind of a classic, so maybe you guys have heard it before. Okay. This is what I think of when I think of riddle, you know? What runs but never walks, murmurs but never talks, has a bed but never sleeps, and has a mouth but never eats? I'm just gonna give it a second. I'll let you people think about that. I'll repeat it, okay? What runs but never walks, murmurs but never talks, has a bed but never sleeps, and has a mouth but never eats? And the answer is a river. I hope that one was a little better than the first week, and I think I just completely skipped a riddle last week. But yeah, thank you for hanging out with me. I hope that I said something that sticks with you. I hope everybody has a really, really freaking good week. I hope you have one of the best weeks ever, every single week, and I hope you're not just living to make it to the weekend. I hope you take a little time every day to do something that you love. Today, what I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna go and buy a Red Bull and I'm gonna drink it. It's like 3:30 right now. I'm gonna drink a Red Bull because that's what I love to do, and I might get a donut. Oh my gosh, if you made it this far, thank you. But I will see you all next week. Bye.